Good evening, friends. My name is Mick. Many of you know that I make plenty of videos about just about anything, movies, politics, and whatever. Today I want to talk to you about masks. I know with all this thing going on with quarantine and the COVID-19 and everything that's going on, it's pretty much got everybody uneased, having to deal with having to social distance and wear masks and everything, because a lot of us, well, frankly, we're not used to wearing masks. And back in the day, I'm sure not too far back, we only considered labeling those that wear masks were either doctors or criminals. Okay. And then there's the entertainment world, Jason, Michael Myers, Scream, and all that. But anyway, all put aside, as far as the masks go, I know that some of us might have access to a few of them, like the N95s that are pretty standard for most. A lot of the hospitals use N95s. Of course, they're probably a lot better than these, because the ones that the hospital grade probably uses have filters and embedded into the N95. This is N95, by the way, but still, there's some out there that people use. I'm scratching my face. That have N95s, and then like I've got here that I've improvised and I personalized it, so when I make my trip to Walmart, yeah, that's what I'm wearing. Because some of us actually go to the stores and have to worry about wearing masks, because yes, there's some of us that don't wear the mask and do actually go around coughing and sneezing and things of that nature. People get arrested for doing that, and then they say that they confront others and tell them that they're wearing masks, and they tell them that they have COVID-19 and they're sneezing on everybody, and they get arrested. And we're living in a dreadful time with having to deal with this whole virus situation. And I know, sorry about that, there's something. So I know a lot of us have to deal with having to stay home and self-quarantine and everything, and you have to, especially those that have kids, and you have to try to figure out what you're going to do for them and how you're going to support them, feed them, clothe them, things of that nature. So people do have to make ends meet somehow or another. This whole thing with the stimulus, some of us have gotten the money. I think it was $1,200 for single individuals and $24 for married couples, and then an additional $500 per child. But in any event, like I was talking about back with the mask, there's plenty of them out there that people do make on their own at home. If you look up YouTube, which I'm pretty sure many of you have YouTube, or are able to access it and look at just about anything and everything in the world, and including myself, I do make a lot of videos that I post on there, and then I forward them over to Facebook. But there's some that I saw in there, like the other day, that you could actually make masks. You can make a mask out of a sock. Believe it or not, this is what that is, a sock. Okay. Then there's those that, the regular standard, what started off before, the bandanas, and other things of that nature. But, as far as wearing masks, I know a lot of us out there are not too comfortable with wearing them. And even though that there's those within a safe zone distance, I'm having to worry about going to a store and feeling all the congestion, because I go to Walmart now maybe once a week, where versus before all this mess happened, it was like 3-4 times a week. But now with everything that's going on, it's just like once a week, and even then you got to watch where you're going, the direction you're going, who's surround you, who's around you. You're always aware of your surroundings, because I saw, like the other day, this guy brought a dog into the store, and he was coughing. He brought the dog on in, but Walmart has this policy where they're counting. A lot of stores probably doing also. They're counting, allowing so many customers in the store at a time, right? And they're doing that. So, in essence, when you're having to worry about that, and then you go outside and you worry about not only the produce and everything that's been handled, and the merchandise and the receipts and whatever kind of confrontation, whatever contacts that you made whether it's a shopping cart. You know, I know Walmart and other stores, they do what they can to keep things clean and disinfected and everything of that nature, but they can't all necessarily do that. I mean, I know they do what they can, but it has to help. It has to include ourselves to make sure that we stay clean, sanitized. Don't go touching your face or rubbing your nose and your hair. You know, if you got long hair, to pull it back. But you got to worry about other things as well. When you go into a store, you got to worry about the product, the produce. You know, other people. Somebody goes in there. I noticed the other day I went into Walmart, and of course I don't buy as much fruit as I used to be able to before, because now it's like I'm thinking, okay, who's the last person that touched a banana? You know, who's the last person that touched that apple? I mean, I love grapes. But I don't mess with them anymore. Or cucumbers. I like to have salads. You know, and unless that produce or product is self-contained, it's kind of hard to deal with, because even though that you say, okay, you can take the cucumber home or you can take those bananas home and you wash them, okay, and there might be some, you know, they say that virus stays on the surfaces or whatever it is for so many hours, whatever, but you can clean them if you're constantly cleaning them. And then you have to worry about the aerosols, because they say that the particulars that float around and they land on certain things, that they're able to contaminate whatever it lands on. And then somebody turns around and touches that item, and then they turn around and touch another item. Somebody else comes along and touches that item. You know, it's just like a never-ending thing. I know we're all struggling, trying to make ends meet and everything, and I just want to talk about the mask situation, but I know that I got more in depth about how as a whole society having to deal with what's going on because of one particular country that made this whole thing happen that shouldn't have happened, and yet we're dealing with this on our own because this is something that somebody else created, somebody else infected us, and yet we're still complying by doing business with these people. You know, I don't know what the issue is going to be, what's going to happen with that, because they say that they're in denial, saying they didn't have anything to do with it, and they're saying we had something to do with it. You know, it's kind of like the pointing finger. You know, you did it. No, you did it. You did it. You know, but in essence, we're the ones that have to deal with it because we're all short on supplies with certain products, the PPEs, the respirators, whatever they call them, whatever, you know, the checks that you're breathing and all that stuff like that, and of course the masks. You know, they all come. You know, we all have to figure a way to get a hold of those, and so we can help those along, in addition to our families and things of that nature. But anyway, I just wanted to gripe about that. So I know you're all probably tired of hearing me by now, and I wanted to put something out there because I haven't done a video or anything lately, and I'm probably thinking, you're probably going, oh, he's just rambling on about masks. I say, you know what? I am, because I know that I'm trying to hurry up because my movie's going to be coming on soon, and I want to get back to my Resident Evil game. But anyway, I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And there's, like I said, if you check on YouTube, please subscribe or like to my page as well, or whatever. You don't have to, but like I said, there's plenty of YouTube channels out there or pages out there that have to deal with masks. I'm pretty sure that you've seen umpteen of them on Facebook of people that are selling masks for an arm and a leg. And even though that you can go out there and make your own, like I said, if you can go out there and make one out of socks, out of shirts, I even did a mock-up one using paper towels. Not that I'm suggesting you make one out of paper towels, but I did make one out of them. Okay? So until next time, stay safe, stay home, and God bless.